Hi, this is Steve Maggi. Welcome to Building the Bridge, where we interview professionals who work with startups that are launching in the US. And it's my pleasure to have Jenna Guarneri here, the CEO of JMGPR. Jenna, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited about this.
Let's jump in and start from the building blocks, the very basics. What is PR and what is the difference between PR and marketing?
That is a great question, one we get often. So marketing is when you put dollars towards, say, advertisements in a magazine, on a podcast, whatever that looks like. So it's more transactional, it's more one-dimensional. You're paying for that ad. Whereas in PR, it's about media relations. It's about a third party writing about you. So there's a third party credibility happening where someone else is doing the work for you and bragging about you sometimes. So it's about also, PR is also about perception over the long term. So marketing is more short term, whereas PR can happen over the long term process. It's about building brand awareness over a longer period of time. So that's the real difference between marketing and PR. Marketing is more day to day based on ad dollars. PR is more about the relationships and building brand awareness and changing the perception or affecting the perception of your end user. It could be client, customer, listener, whatever that looks like for you.
And I would imagine for startups, that's extremely important, especially, for example, with cases like the cases that I handle where we're launching US operations for companies that maybe don't have any recognition at all. They don't exist in this market yet. So why is PR important for these startup companies?
That's great. So PR is important for startup companies because it helps them start with the brand awareness, right? They might not have an audience yet. They might have just launched. They may have only been well known within their small niche, and they want to pull that more mainstream, maybe perhaps into more of the business space, more into the technology space, whatever that looks like for that startup company. So PR helps for a number of reasons for startups to build brand awareness. Then on top of that too, it also helps in terms of fundraising, helping to show potential investors, these reporters who wrote about you from these top tier media outlets, it shows that level of credibility. Also, it helps create backlinks back to your website. So the more websites that feature your name and backlinks to your company, it helps you in terms of SEO as well. Plus, if you have more people seeing your media placement, it can potentially create new customers for you. So there's a lot of things a lot of benefits that come with having PR for a startup company.
You think it's a misnomer or misconception that people think, well, my product or my service is well known in my home country. So it should just be very simple for that to become recognized in the US, and I can do it organically.
Yes. So media in the US is extremely competitive, more so compared to other countries. So when a company comes here, and yes, they may be well known in where they reside, it won't be well known here. So it's almost like you have to start fresh in the US. And because it's so competitive, you have to try even harder to break through that glass ceiling and to also break through the competitors. So it becomes more of a challenge.
For startups that are thinking of launching in the US or already have, and they have questions that they want to start a dialogue with someone like you, how do they contact you?
That's great. So they can visit me on our website at jmgpr.com. They can also go on Instagram at jmg_PR, or they can find me on LinkedIn as well.
Great. Thank you, Jenna.
Thank you.